Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ask Sonic and Tails Anything.
Sonic, I noticed you haven't answered the most asked question that pops up every week.
Oh right, Pepsi. I enjoy drinking soda and being like, this is almost soda.
No, I'm talking about how does it feel to be in Smash?
It's kind of like the time Tails and I were in Vietnam and got caught by Charlie and thrown in a prison camp and were forced to play Russian roulette against each other.
That was Deer Hunter.
Fine, then it's more like the time I got...
Yeah, let me stop you right there. That was the Mighty Ducks.
I'd have to say it feels kind of insulting. I mean, I'm clearly the best, so why would I even have to be there? It's like if LeBron James was in a game with 12-year-olds or Jesus in a wet t-shirt contest with Bono. But I'm glad the fans have a chance to experience my greatness.
I'm satisfied. All right, let's get started. So today we went to Patreon for our questions, and there was a bunch of great ones, so we're going to do a rapid-fire thing to get through them all. First one is from Thomas Zartman, and he asks, with so many funerals, how would you put the fun back in funeral?
A hologram of the deceased performing with Tupac. Next.
Justin Fontaine wants to know, how many clones of Tails could you take on in a fight?
300. I mean, the number could be infinite because Tails is such a wuss, but it's ill-advised to fight any more than 300 clones at one time because it'll affect your eyesight. It's like sitting too close to the television.
Didn't I beat you up in 5th grade?
Next question.
Zero Tails wants to know, does Tails' constant tail waving annoy you? And if so, what would you be willing to do to make it stop?
You might think it annoys me, but I have the focus of Secretariat on Adderall, so I'm able to block it out even though it never stops. Back and forth, back and forth. I mean, even when he's taking a piss. You'd think he'd like to give it a rest for a second, but nope. And don't get me started when he's on his high horse screaming about when I smoke pot with his horse. If something like that bothered me, I sign a pact with the devil like Brendan Fraser in Bedazzled to live the rest of my life as Brendan Fraser to have a moment of peace. But nah, I barely notice it.
All you have to do is ask, but whatever. Let's move on. Ethereal Dragon has 2 questions. First up, have you ever tried taking swimming lessons?
No. Swimming lessons are a giant Ponzi scheme.
How are they? You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. Second question is to everybody. Which Pokemon would you date?
Guys, as the only one here who's watched a combined 80,000 hours of dating show television, I really think I'm the most qualified to answer this question. On top of that, I'm the only one that knows anything about Pokemon, so really, fellas, leave this one to me. With that in mind, let's restrict ourselves to the original 150 Pokemon just to make things easier, and we end up with Eggman dating Mr. Mime, 'cause gross. For Sonic, he loves to be the little spoon, so for him, the perfect companion would be Nidoqueen. And for Tails, I have no idea. Jigglypuff?
Low Bunny is pretty hot too.
That is true.
And what about Gardevoir? I'd sex that one.
Eggman, you're a disgusting freak, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Next question.
Lucas DeRuiter asks, does anyone have any advice on how to file taxes as an independent contractor?
And as someone who's not paid his taxes since ever, I'll handle this one. TurboTax. Which reminds me, this episode of Ask Sonic Anything is brought to you by TurboTax. Tax filing is made nice and easy with the help of TurboTax. Moving on, Jer Shipley was wondering what DC or Marvel character I would change lives with and why. For this, I'll use the simple equation of coolness over superpower divided by love interest times money over genius minus brooding plus boringness. And the answer is obviously Iron Man.
Well, I'm actually impressed.
How quickly I solved that?
No, that you actually knew what an equation was. Ali Sharifi asks, Sonic, do you even potato?
I used to potato before anyone even knew what potatoing was. Back in the day, I potatoed with Chris Farley, Madonna, the Where's the Beef Lady, Stephen Hawking. But I don't anymore. Too many people potato. It's played out.
Totally. I wouldn't even potato if you paid me.
Really, Tails?
Absolutely. No follow-up questions. And finally, Stephen DeLeon wants to know, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Piss myself in public.
You do that like every other week.
Then where the hell's my Klondike bar?
That's all the time we have. Thank you for your patronage. Put your questions in the comments and stay safe.
Hello, it's me, Eggman. If you're not sick of my voice yet, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. It helps me build my hyper killing machines. I promise I won't use them to kill most of you.